We were talking all about deer season. Deer season has opened up in a lot of states. There's still a few, like Oklahoma and some other states, where they're not opened up yet, but they're just around the corner. Rifle season opens up here in Texas first week in November, which is like it's only like what, 3 weeks away. It's been a hot archery season. All of October's been hot. Today's the last day. Today's 98 degrees and it's mid-October. But tomorrow it's going to be 75 degrees. We're going to hit that cold front. I think we're going to run with that cold front, at least here in Texas. But welcome back, RDS. I think this is EP 13, DuPont show. So we're going to get right into it, where we are at in terms of deer season. I've seen a lot of comments. People are starting to get a little worried. They'll be asking me, Reed, I have not seen a target buck yet. I've had game cameras up since summer. I have not seen a target buck. I'm hunting public land. Should I be worried? I'm getting a lot of questions. Another question, like basically, what can I do for my better chances for a buck to, be moving during daylight? I've seen all these deer, all these bucks, Reed, they're only showing up at night. What can I do to bring them out during the day? Guys, it's all about patience. Patience, patience, patience. Season just started. No matter where you're at. Some places it hasn't even started yet. Y'all settle down a little bit. Be patient. Obviously, it's great that you got cameras out. You're getting intel in without having to be out there. But guys, be patient. Let it come to y'all. Let that cold front come in. It's still hot. I know some places up north, it's they're in like the 40s, but it's still hot. It's still so early. Let these bucks go throughout their normal routine. They're starting out in the summer. They'll start to transition to fall and winter, get in the rut and whatever. Just let them do their thing. Y'all don't be so worried. It's going to happen. And before you know it, you're going to be looking at a camera and be like, where'd this buck come from? Well, he was coming the whole time. You just need to be patient, right? So y'all stay calm. We're at that point where we're getting very excited. We're getting some cooler weather. We're wondering where the deer are. They're coming. They're coming if they're not already here. So there's that. All right. For instance, D-Tex whitetails. We're getting a lot of bucks coming in, right? A lot of bucks coming in the cameras, but they're only showing up at night, and you'll be like, man, how do I get these bucks out in the day? I'm getting no photos in the day. I get thousands, hundreds of photos at night. It's early. They're feeding at night. It's too hot during the day. They're bedded up. So like from my perspective, I know that, and I know that pattern will change as we get into November, December, January, right? So I'm just basically right now just doing an inventory, see what we have, see what's more of like what deer on a routine basis, and knowing that there's bucks out there that aren't there yet. They're not showing up, but they will be. So y'all be patient. In terms of what we got game camera wise, obviously y'all have seen Soldier. Soldier's 10 years old. I'll throw him up. I'll throw a bunch of game camera photos up. I've gone through 5,000 photos. I had 10 cameras up for the past 3 months. So lots of footage to go through. But Soldier, he's a beast, 10-year-old. He's not as wide as he used to be, but he still's got the brows that are basically touching each other. They're split. And he turned out nice for a 10-year-old. Super impressive buck right off the bat that I noticed. And then, man, we're just going to get right into it. The 4, 5, 6 double drop tine buck. I saw him over the summer in July. I was scoping, I was glassing. I was actually on a black buck hunt, and I was hunting with a client. And we're on the edge of this field, and we're glassing these black bucks, right? And out of my eye, on the right-hand side, we're 400 yards away, right? I glass a buck, right? And the first thing I said to the client, that's the biggest buck I've ever seen on this property. And understand, I'm 400 yards away and I can see this buck, right? And I'm saying he's the biggest buck on the property. That's got to mean that buck's big at 400 yards. And so if y'all don't know if y'all have heard this story, but we went down there and stalked that buck. We got within 50 yards. I couldn't get a good visual. I could only get his left side, but the only thing I said was that buck's got 3 or 4 drop tines on his left side. He's got a couple drop tines. And sure enough, that was in July. September, early October, I pull these photos, game camera photos, and that closest location, that camera, There he is. He's on there. There's probably 10 to 15 photos of him. And he's got drop tines, guys. I think he's got, I have to look at the photo. I don't got it in front of me. I'll throw y'all up there. But I think it's 3 or 4 on his left, another 2 on his right, maybe 3 on his right. I think he's got 5 or 6. And he's got off his drops. He has like splits off his drops, like a drop off a drop. Absolute unit. And he's everything plus more than I thought. His beams are all of 15, 20 inches. G2s, G3s, G4s, I believe, on each side. Splits, it's ridiculous. He's wide. He's everything you would want in a South Texas Giant, right? And it's a dream buck. So there's that guy on the radar, right? I have no idea where that buck came from. I have never seen that buck in my life. I can tell you that. I promise you, I have never seen that deer in my life. And out of nowhere, that deer, he's got to score 275. A 275-inch buck shows up in my game camera, 275-inch buck. I see in the field for the first time. I've never seen that deer. So for that to happen, it's crazy. That buck just blew up, or he's been hiding all these years. I have no idea how old he is. He looks like, I don't want to make a prediction because I have not seen a good shot of him. I want to see him on hoof within 50 to 100 yards, but he's got to be like 5. I don't know. I'm not going to make a prediction right now what he's at year-wise. He's a good buck. He's a solid buck. What else we got out there? I'm trying to go off memory of what we got game camera footage-wise. We got a lot of heavy deer. We got a big 10. We got a big 10. Last year, I'll throw some photos of him. He was a beast, and I actually believe he's 11 or 12 this year. I'll throw that footage up. I'll show the video. The video's of him last year, and then the footage, the picture is him this year. That deer got a little bigger. So that's a real impressive deer that I have seen. A lot of heavy deer, like I was saying. Couple heavy deer that just like shock me. Their main beams are 2 inches wide, 2 inches thick. So I love me some heavy deer. One thing I did notice in particular, my brother actually pointed this out. A lot of young deer that have so much potential. You'll have a 1-year-old that's a 10-point, and he's small basket 10-point, nothing big, nothing like crazy, right? But he's a 10-point, he's got points, and he could blow up. So we've seen a lot of that on the cameras. And then we've seen a lot of deer that, a couple locations, we have 2 locations that are basically in the bottoms, right? And they're producing a lot of does. There's a lot of does concentrated in this area. Both of those locations, we don't hunt them much because there's just not that many deer that we've seen, especially buck-wise. But it's been pulling a lot of does this year at both locations, anywhere from 5 to 10 does, which is great. Keep those does there, hopefully throughout till mid-December when that rut happens, and we'll be able to suck some bucks down in that location, which then we can set up and be ready for them. So that was something that I noticed, that he actually noticed from the footage. So that's gonna be really good for some later hunting down in that bottoms. So that'll be cool. But we'll get to Hercules here. He's an absolute giant. I was in shock. How big he was, guys. He's bigger than A1. And there's no question about it. We got A1 right, and his son, he's got a bunch of sons, but one of his sons is Hercules, right? And Hercules, I can't believe I'm saying this, Hercules is officially bigger than A1. The son is bigger than the dad. And the thing is, that buck is 5 years old. He still's got another year to be even bigger. And Hercules, he's got, I don't want to, dude, this is tough, dude. 340? I'll go 340. A1's biggest year was 333. So I'll go 340. I think Hercules is going to top A1. And I'm just very impressed of how much he's blown up and turned into the buck that he is. I will say, and A1 did this too. At 2 years old, A1 was just a pretty wide, typical buck, right? He had a bunch of I don't know what you call it, tine layers, kind of layering, but he was very typical. And Hercules was the same thing. at 3 years old. At 2-year-old, he bumped himself, so kind of messed up his side for the entire year. But at 3, very typical. A1 started to really turn non-typical really fast, and I didn't know if Hercules was going to do the same thing, and he ended up doing the same thing. Obviously, I'm a typical guy, but we don't have many non-typical kind of bucks like that, so it's kind of cool to have. And this year, he just blew up and became an absolute non-typical deer. I haven't studied him from the footage like really, really deep, but I know on his left side, he has like some crazy palm that, I'm not even kidding, like towards the end of his tine, it's like a hand. It's like this thick. It's literally just like that. His brows look like they're 12 inches long. Bunch of stuff coming off of it, right? So, oh man. Hercules is going to be an amazing deer. Obviously, they'll look bigger in velvet. I do not have a photo of him out of velvet yet. Obviously, he's out of velvet now. But I can't wait to sit in a ground blind with my camera, my big camera, and get some badass footage about like 15, 20, 30 yards and really see what he looks like. So very hyped about that. He's the real deal, and he's a buck of a lifetime. You got to love Hercules. Shout out A1. And I mean, I was talking to my brother, I was talking to a friend, that 4, 5, 6 drop time buck, we might have a possibility that could be related to Hercules or A1 in some type of way. That buck's just too big not to be a part of that family tree of some sort. So we're still digesting it. We're still trying to figure out if that's true or not. So it's just kind of theory right now, but we will see. Also, I just want to say, moving from a different topic, I'm going down next weekend. We'll get some cooler weather, and we're putting up the rest of the archery blinds. We're doing a cool tree stand blind, and that's going to be awesome. I'll do some video of that, so y'all stay tuned. So just a couple more setup stuff, getting ready for truly the season. All of November, all of December, and then half of January. So super hyped. Season is here. If y'all got any questions, drop them down in the comments below. I'll gladly answer them in a video. We're about at 15 minutes now, so we're gonna cut this one short right here. But season's here. Y'all keep putting out game cameras. Y'all keep checking those game cameras, and just remember, guys, be patient. The time is just around the corner, if not already here for some of y'all. But you're seeing photos of deer already on the ground. People already, talking about, oh man, we got it done for this season. Patience. Obviously, they could be in a different state. Everything's different. So I got trust in y'all. And if you already got something, put it down in the comments below. If you're targeting a buck, put it down in the comments below. Really interested of what your season's going to look like. But with that, I appreciate y'all watching the RDS show, DuPont show, and I'll see y'all in the next episode. Peace!